this is Miss Jamie from the Twin Rivers branch, and today I'm going to talk to you a little about bird's nests. As you're probably aware, that bird's nests are used by birds for laying their eggs and protecting their young, plain and simple. But did you know that bird's nests, well, most of the ones that I'm sure you've seen, are made out of natural materials such as twigs and leaves and moss and basically anything that can be found out in the wild. But you know, humans have taken over the world, and sometimes birds will find things that are not necessarily natural, and they'll use that to make their nests. But as long as it doesn't hurt them, that's okay. But it can be a problem when it's garbage, like food wrappers or plastic straws, or like things that could potentially harm them, and none of us want that. But I am going to show you how to make your own nest out of natural materials and things you can find around the house that can biodegrade and aren't harmful to our bird friends. So let's get started. Okay friends, let me show you what I have to put my nest together. You don't have to use exactly what I use because I found a bunch of these things in the library or around the library. So again, as long as it's safe for the birds, it should be fine to use it in a nest. Well, of course I found twigs just outside the library door. And don't use big sticks. It's easier to manipulate thin ones just like this. I have some leaves that have dried out from the rain. I have some dandelion stems. I have some of this twine that I found in the library closet. I have some paper Easter grass from Easter baskets, but make sure it's the paper one, not the plastic one. As I said before, plastic is harmful for birds, especially if they eat it, and that could get them sick and hurt them very much. And I also have, this is called Spanish moss. You can get this at the craft store, but I found this in the library closet. Interesting. It's very good at keeping plants wet if you ever need to use it for like house plants, but keeps the moisture in. But in this case, we will be using it for my nest. I also have a small paper plate to keep everything contained. So I'm going to start off by making a ring of twigs to be our base of the nest. Just go around the edge of the plate. And you'll see that this is very easy to do. And sometimes the easiest crafts are the most fun, right? You can do it however you like. There's no right or wrong way to make a bird nest. But that's how I feel about most crafts anyway. No right or wrong way to do it. Now I'm gonna keep building up my sides. of these branches, or twigs, if you find them on the ground, they might be from a tree that just had their branches blow off. So they're actually going to be a little pliable, meaning bendy. So you can shape it into like a curve if you need to. So now that I have a basic shape to it, I can add my other bits to my, nest, like this twine or my dandelion, which I'm gonna put on top. I'm gonna take some of my moss and put it on the bottom to be like a bed for the eggs that would be laid in my nest. And of course I am making a mess because no craft is done without making a mess. I'm just gonna keep using these things. Make a nice comfy nest for birds. And as you're making this, you can think about like what would be the best materials for a bird to be using. Like what would be the worst, because of course some materials are better than others, but again, there's no wrong way to do it. And while it isn't perfect, this is mine. And I would have to say, like, I could see a bird laying their eggs in here, wouldn't you? And another thing to keep in mind, if you need to, you can actually poke holes in your plate to weave your twigs through so they'd actually stay on and stay together. Because you don't want to use any glue or anything for this. That's not good for nature at all. So especially if like a bird tried to eat it, that's not great. But when you're done with your nest, you can try to place it in a high, or ask a parent. Very important to ask a parent to put it in a high place and see if any birds will decide to rest there and enjoy it. So that's how you make a bird nest.